So you went through a process of realization.
Whatever you want to call it.
Without the sadhana.
That's what I said. I started my yoga at the age of 11 and for the next 13 years, without a single day's break, I did this yoga. I was not given to such discipline usually, but somehow this yoga happened as if it was happening from within me, not like I was doing it. Without a single day's break, it happened for 13 years. It doesn't matter where I was. If I was trekking in the mountains, it happened. If I was in a party, it happened. Wherever I was, it always happened. I kept it up.
And you think that led to this realization or…
Definitely.
Or this discovery?
It's based on that that I formulated various systems where every human being can experience
Because your
that.
literature describes you as a realized master.
Realized, yes.
Yes. And
The only distinction between one human being and the other is all of us have the same possibility. Either it is realized or not. That's the only question.
But in your case, it happened not necessarily with sadhana, going to the hills, praying for years.
See, there is a sadhana.
Growing a beard.
See whether
You know,
that happens even if you don't do anything.
renunciation.
No.
You did not renounce your family, your family
That's
life.
what I said. I never got identified with anything.
Right. As you went through this experience and as you evolved into what you are, you did raise a family.
Yes.
You did bring up a daughter.
Yes. She's turning 18.
She's turning 18 and you didn't give up anything and go away in the hills or someplace or…
No,
you never thought of it?
I have embraced a million-strong family.
Yes.
I have not given up anything.
So that's what I was saying, that your mother would be very proud of you because you have a family of more than 1 million devotees and now a wonderful center here in Villangiri foothills, but also one coming up in Tennessee,
Yes.
America.
We are coming up with a large center in Tennessee.
1,200 acres.
See, Tennessee of all the places.
Because Tennessee is very much the heart
Yes,
of the
it
Bible
is
Belt.
it's a Bible belt.
So you'll
We're
be
doing very
dismissed
well there.
as a cultist, as a strange guy, a Rastafarian, all kinds of things.
See, the word cult is
most of all.
cult is very freely used word. But one thing that… one mistake that repeatedly spiritual teachers have done around the world is they want to form a community of their own.
Right.
A world of their own. That's never been my thing. My thing is I'm always encouraging and bringing people to embrace the world, not to become a separate island of your own. Because what's the point creating a world of your own? There's really no point. And after all, the Creator's creation is wonderful. You don't have to create something. We have a center, that's different. But creating a community and a city is a different thing. I never have such intentions and that always leads to isolation and kind of freakish…
Well, if not the world, you've created a little domain, and if not your own, maybe one for the Creator, which is where we go next now, your Dhyanalinga temple. So Sadhguru, this is Dhyanalinga.
Yes.
The temple you built. I talked about building not a world or domain for yourself, but one for the Creator. Tell us about this. It took you a long time doing it. And this was also some kind of an inspiration.
See, what we refer to as Dhyanalinga is the very essence of yogic sciences. This temple is not created for worship or ritual.
Right.
This is purely for meditation.
In fact, there is no worship or ritual.
There is no worship,
prasad,
no
aarti,
ritual, nothing, no.
No chanting.
No.
No.
It's in total silence always.
Right.
Nobody speaks inside the temple, it's always in silence. See, all these buildings that you see here, they are not standing here because the strength of its material.
Right.
It is all brick, lime and mud. There is no cement, there is no steel in these structures.
I see.
And they are not standing here because of the strength of the material, but because of the perfection of the geometry.
Right.
When you create a building with concrete or steel, there is a tussle between the gravity and the building. One day the gravity will win anyway.
Right.
Here there's no tussle, they're in… you know, they're in proper harmony.
You've designed these.
Yes, they're in proper harmony, they're in relaxation, there's no tension. I would say that buildings themselves are meditating, that's how they are made. We're using the gravity to make the buildings stand.
You know, your talk is so contemporary all the time. It reminds me of something you said at the World Economic Forum, Davos, where I heard you speak. You said that you now need contemporary wisdom in contemporary times.
Isn't it? Why is it that people think that 2000 years ago or 5000 years ago, human beings were more intelligent than what they are today, it's a shame.
We identify wisdom as ancient. They go together.
So there can be no wise in the present. So somewhere we believe people of the past were more intelligent than us.
But wisdom should be wisdom. Why should it change? Why should it change with time?
That's what I'm saying.
Why ancient wisdom? Why contemporary wisdom? Wisdom should be
See,
wisdom.
wisdom may be contemporary or ancient because our life situations keep changing, and how you respond to that also has to change. So I would say wisdom has to be contemporary. Otherwise, if what you did, something that was wonderful 10,000 years ago, if you do it today, it could be ridiculous because it could be totally out of sync with what's happening now.
Give me an example, or a couple of examples.
Any number of rituals we are doing. For example, many superstitions that are here today were all wonderful things at one time. They're out of time. For example, in India, if a cat crosses a street, people park their cars even today. You know why this happens? If you trek in these mountains, if a tiger comes or any big cats come, like a panther or a tiger, it's a natural instinct for them. Whenever they cross an open space, after crossing the open space, they'll sit there at the edge of the space, look back and cover their tracks. This is a natural instinct in the cat. So if you're walking on a forest pathway, if you saw a big cat crossing, he will be sitting there and you don't walk straight into him. You wait, because he sits there for a minute, checks his tracks and goes on. This is about big cats, not about a house cat, not when he's crossing a highway and you're sitting in a car.
So that's how superstition came into being.
Yes, most of the superstitions at one time were scientific facts for people who lived in those times.
Right.
But we continue the same thing in exaggerated ways today, it becomes a silly thing to do.
That's what you mean by contemporary wisdom.
Yes.
And the other thing that intrigues me, we need many hours of talking about all this, but another thing that intrigues me, you talk of life as a celebration, right? And yet you say for most people death is a big relief.
Even if you're having a wonderful party, don't you want to close it sometime?
Well, but I may think, oh God, it's over too soon, when is the next one? Why should it be a relief?
We don't want it to be over too soon, but you want to end it somewhere, isn't it? So when you feel extremely happy, you feel like ending everything.
Right, but you don't see a contradiction between the two things. Life being a celebration,
no, not at all.
Need to celebrate life, and death being a big relief to most people. In fact, the exact line was, death comes as a big relief to most people.
Yes. Right now, most people are suffering their lives one way or the other. They're carrying their lives as a burden. For them also it's a relief, but if one becomes overburdened with ecstasy, then also he wants to dissolve it, right, because he's seen it all.
Right.
So if you have not seen enough of life, you're hankering for life.
Right.
If you've seen it all, then you want to pass on to the next.
Is that why you are so different? You ride a motorbike, you wear designer dark glasses, you drive a Land Rover, you dance at disco parties.
No.
Is it just a part of your brand image?
No.
Or is it to say you can be normal and spiritual?
Say, spiritual is normal. If you're not spiritual, you are handicapped.
Yeah. Sadhguru, tell us about this place. This looks like such a wonderful, cool, calm, serene place.
So this is called a Tirthakund. Here what you see there is a solidified mercury linga.
Solidified mercury?
Yes. A linga means an ellipsoid. Why an ellipsoid is, the core of every galaxy is an ellipsoid, which is a common knowledge today.
Right.
But if your energies reach to a very highest peak or pitch, once again it becomes an ellipsoid. That means the beginning of the universe starts as an ellipsoid and the dissolution also happens as an ellipsoid. So an ellipsoid is seen as a doorway to the beyond.
And the other thing that intrigues me is the size of these rocks. They remind me of the pyramids. I don't think I've seen bigger rocks.
Pyramids were built for the dead, this is for the living.
I think that's a brilliant note to conclude on, Sadhguru. Wonderful to chat with you. I know that we need many, many hours to go into more complex issues, but before that, I have to be a little less illiterate about those to come back to you.
Come and walk sometime, no talking. Let's walk in the mountains sometime.
Always ready to listen. Thank you.